check this out. We're going to Las Cruces, the home of the Dogs. And we've got head coach from the football team, Mark Lopez, and son, star dual sport athlete, my kind of guy, Marcos Lopez, joining as well. Fellas, what's going on?
Nothing, buddy. How you doing, man?
Just trying to get through this. Marcos, you doing good, man?
Yes, sir. I'm doing all right.
Are you doing good, or are you just aching to play some sports, man?
Definitely aching to play some sports.
I bet. I'm gonna go straight to this, guys. What's the father-son, the relationship? I mean, do you guys ever want to rip each other's heads off? Let me know about this.
Oh no, I'm a builder, man. All I do is encourage him. I never get upset at him. I've never yeah, right. No, man, you know what, Adam, man, I'll tell you this much. He knows this ever since he was little. I've held him to a super high standard. And I've always challenged his mental toughness since he was a kid. And so I'm super proud of what he's done coming up. He's one of the more mentally tough guys that's come through the program. And I hold a lot of pride in that. We've always done a really good job, thank God, of kind of leaving the field at the field. And then when we get home, we're darn good buddies, man. I tell you what, this guy gives me all my life information is where I get it from him. Everything that has to do with NFL, college football, NBA, which I don't even follow the NBA, but I do because of him. But everything else in life, I think I get information from him.
Marcus, what do you think, man? How's the father son? I mean, how's it, your coach, Pops? How does that go?
I don't know. I think he covered most of it.
Is he being honest? Does he really leave everything on the field? Or when you get home, eat your pee, is he like shaking his head at you?
For the most part.
No, I joke with you guys. I know it's special. I mean, I got young ones right now, and you can coach them a little bit. But I'll tell you what, me and my wife, we both played college sports, right, at Eastern New Mexico. Go Greyhounds!
Nice.
And so we were like way tough on our kids. Like, come on, yell! They're 4 years old, and we're just like, let's go. We realized, you know what, we got to let them develop, but that's cool because Mark, this, like, you don't know if your kid's going to be as athletic as you were and love sports like you do, and now you get to see that in full swing. And not only that, but you're his coach, so I mean that's got to make it extra special.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. And that's why I think, with all our kids, I mean, I have 3 kiddos. My daughter's getting ready to graduate college here in a few months. And with Marcos, and then my youngest with Sammy, that's really, we've used sports to kind of help them become mentally tough, and that's what I think one of the greatest values of sports is. And so just kind of that understanding, not necessarily expecting them to, be, the next whatever, but just instead being a great person, being mentally tough, learning how to be a great teammate. And so those are the things that I think we try to hold them to the highest standard of. But you're exactly right, man. It's a blessing to see them kind of come through this and to grow into the people that they become.
Marcos, I got to ask you, who's the better, more athletic father-son combo? Is it you two, or is it Benjamin Williams and Deuce?
I guess I got to pick us. Yes, sir.
I don't know, man. I mean, you're dual sport over there. I mean, come on, you guys can take them, right? Come on.
Yeah, exactly,
Yes,
man.
All right, let me jump in.
Too.
Hey, calling out Coach Benz right now. It probably depends on the sport, right? I mean, because if it's basketball, we're gonna have to foul a lot, which is okay. That's all right. We got to do what we got to do. If it's golf, I like my chances. If it's football, I like my chances.
Baseball.
That's what I'm talking about. Marcos, you're waiting for the senior season. I know it because, obviously you've had a great career so far, but you've been building for this senior season. We're all hoping it happens. I guess we don't know, but talk about like your preparation into this and how good you feel and going into your senior year.
Oh, this is definitely the best I've ever felt coming into a season. All the time that we've had, it's just feel like it's been preparing and preparing and preparing, and I'm ready to play now. I'm I'm not kind of tired of
Everybody.
preparing now, but ready to play.
Tell me about the next level, man. I've seen. I saw Eastern. What have you made an official decision?
No, sir, I haven't made an
Okay.
official decision yet.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm just saying, Greyhounds are the best. All right. So go Greyhounds.
Yes, sir. I'm just.
But you have options, and that's great. And I know Pops has to be proud of that as well. And so, do you want to continue playing athletics so next level, right?
Yes, sir, definitely.
Great. And Mark, I mean, I know you. That's got to make you feel like going back. I mean, your coach and a father is like a dual proud. Like you get, you get to see your son go off to college and be able to play. I mean, that's big.
Yeah, it is, man. The opportunities, you're right. It's awesome. It's great to watch him. I think it's funny because he's learning now what I've been telling him for a while, which is that, the majority of money is in the academics part. And,
No doubt.
now that he's starting to apply for scholarships and things like that and seeing what people can do academically as well as athletically, I think it hits home. But I'm just as proud of his 4.0, whatever it is, 4.02.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
As anything. And so, yeah, you're exactly right, man. Just I'm beaming for the guy. I mean, I still hold him to a high standard, as I said, but and we're never satisfied. But I'm very, very proud of him and very, very happy with the opportunities. Sorry about that, Bo.
I'll tell you this, I would never have graduated college if it weren't for athletics, man. I was just trying to keep my GPA up to be able to be eligible the next semester. Next thing you know, they're like, hey, you're graduating. Like, what? It's a great thing. Hey guys, last thing, I got to go with this. I've been called the big, Metro homer, but I mean, most of my life I've covered all the Metro basically, and Las Cruces, and William Benjamin's giving me a hard time about not giving enough love, which he's right to the South and stuff. But I gotta ask you guys this: do you feel that Cleveland and Rio Rancho have kind of taken the spice away from Mayfield and Las Cruces? Because Las Cruces and Mayfield were like winning every state championship for a decade, and it's kind of flipped a little bit. Is there like any animosity towards this Cleveland Rio Rancho, or how do you guys look at it? Both of you, I want both of you to answer.
Marcos, I'll let you go first, babe.
I don't know.
He doesn't want to build any fires, Coach. He doesn't want to build any fires. That's smart. He's smart.
Yeah, I'll answer, man. I have animosity towards everybody. If they're not a Bulldog, I have some kind of animosity, right? I mean, that's what we do when we compete. And so, we haven't gone anywhere. We've been right there in the dang mix. We've obviously, it's gotten a little bit thinned out in the last few years, and Cleveland and that Rio Rancho area are booming. And so, but by the same token, they've done a great job up there developing their programs too. Coach Ridenauer and when Coach Howes was there, they did a great job. It wasn't like, they're just, just relying on talent. They're developing kids, they're developing programs, which is what we've done for a long time down here as well. And so, but by that same token, man, I feel like you're just right there every year. And I'm super proud of how we kind of continue to compete. And, you look at it, you're a field goal away a couple of years ago, of going to advancing. You're in the state championship a couple of years before that. You're in the semifinals before that, and you run into, that Monsanto team. So, being right there, I tell you what, it's going to happen. We'll climb back up there.
I will say, I remember the Cruces game too, came down to field goal, and you're always right there, and it's been some battles, man, back and forth, and I love it. And I know, how do you guys feel about Mayfield dropping down a class too? I mean, that is the best rivalry in the state. I don't even think it's close when it comes to football. And obviously, Marcus, playing in that game, big crowd at Aggie Memorial. Are you a little bit sad that they had dropped down a class?
I don't know if it's sad, but kind of just disappointed, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something to look forward to every year. Last game of the year, that can't be the last game anymore. since it's not district, and it stinks not to be able to play in the Aggie Memorial anymore.
It's tough. We'll see what happens in the future, guys. I am 100% rooting for you. You guys have been great. It's been fun to watch you grow, Marcos, and I'm wishing you the best in the next level. Hopefully, it's with those fighting greyhounds, baby. But whatever you choose, I'm for it. Coach Lopez, I appreciate your time too, and I hope we get to play some football here soon, guys.
I hear you, buddy. We appreciate you too. We appreciate you, kind of constantly advocating for these kids. I know you've done a great job through social media and everything else, and you've always had their backs. And I tell you what, man, we truly appreciate that. And I know I can speak for pretty much every coach around the state saying that.
Hey, I appreciate that. Much love, guys. Hopefully we'll see you soon. Take care.
Awesome, buddy.
Check this out, folks. We have the man himself. They said, Adam, you need to get more creative. You have to have better guests. You can't stick with Albuquerque and Rio Rancho, Cleveland. So I'm listening to everyone, and I got the dual state champ right here in a row. Jeff Lynn, how you doing? Head coach of Roswell football. You doing all right, man?
I'm doing great, Joe, man. I sure appreciate you having me.
All right. So, Jeff, everyone's been saying, okay, you've been biased for Los Lunas because in the metro area, Adam, you need to stop picking against Roswell. Adam, you need to stop giving Roswell the respect. And I feel like everyone's right, man. Roswell, you got a farm going down there. You got a system coach. Everything's been roaring. It had to have been a lot of fun these last couple of years, right?
Yeah. Why are you doing that, Adam? Why you hating on us, man?
I'm biased, Coach. I'm biased for the Metro. Everyone knows it, and I get beat up for it. But it's who I cover, right? So I'll be honest. Obviously, I am more biased to the Metro just because who I cover. But respect where respect is due. And you guys have been just on fire, and you've built the program out there that's been so successful, and especially as of late. And you got to tell me about that. How do you start something like that? How do you start the success that you've had?
Well, it's a process, man. It's the first couple of years at Roswell, it was a grind. My first year we went 6-5 and we made the playoffs. We shouldn't have been in the playoffs though. We had such a soft schedule that we won some games and got in the playoffs, and then we lost the first round. We really shouldn't be. And then that second year, we really upped our schedule. We felt like we needed to, play better people, and we went 2-8. And there were some question marks. I really felt like, I don't know, man, maybe we can't get this thing turned around. But then the next year we went I believe 7-5 and went to the quarterfinals, and the next year we went 9-3 and went to the semis. And then I really thought one of my best teams was that 9-3 team. We were really good, but we ran into, I can't remember the kid's name, but the quarterback from St. Pius that year. And he cut us up, and I can't remember his name.
Is it Drew Ortiz? Is it Drew Ortiz?
That's it. Yeah. That should be sketched into my brain. But then the next year we kind of stuck back. We went 8-4 and went to the semifinals again, and then the last 2 years been pretty solid.
But see, that's like a steady climb, right? Like you start. You said you made the playoffs, but soft schedule. But like you really had to start from down here, and it's a steady kind of build, right? And it's a process. Sometimes people aren't willing to put in, because sometimes you want immediate results. You know what I mean? Like right away. And I think kids even want immediate results sometimes without putting in the work. And I think that shows a program that's on the build. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer than people want, right?
Yeah. And like one of the biggest hurdles for us was just mental. We had been beat down for so long. When we finally beat Goddard, think about this, Adam. When we finally beat Goddard, we had kids on our team who weren't even born the last time Roswell beat Goddard.
That is unbelievable. That's unbelievable.
Insane, right? And so, like, I really felt like we had good enough athletes and good enough people those first 2 or 3 years, but the mental part of it, just knowing that you're good enough. That was the thing that really kind of took the long. Then
I mean, but
you know,
Goddard had won all the time, and they won state championships, and they were the successful program. To see it flipped right now, like if you just say, Adams, we're going to fast forward 8 years later for all the state championships I've covered, and I've covered a few Goddard ones myself. And if you would have told me now Roswell's in the driver's seat, I'd have been like, no way. I mean, that's a big compliment to what you've done, though.
yeah, and I mean, you got to think about this too, though. I mean, it's really good. I mean, last year, the last game of the season, the number 1 and the number 2 teams in 5A played. I mean, for the district championship, Roswell and Goddard played. And you say we're in the driver's seat, but I'm going to tell you, they're pretty good. So,
yeah. Well, when you win 2
but,
in a row, you're kind of in the driver's seat, at least for now, right? I mean, I would say so.
yeah. So,
Coach, you can celebrate it a little bit, come on. What do you think about Mayfield?
but you know what?
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I think, we scrimmaged Mayfield the last 2 years. That was our, and the first year scrimmage, we kind of gave it to him a little bit. I mean, it was we kind of got after him a little bit, but then last year, I mean, it was really competitive. I mean, we gave it to them some, they gave it to us some. So, I mean, you can just add them to the mix in 5A.
Don't you feel that's
weird?
I mean, I can't even envision Mayfield playing, in your class. I just can't, I guess. But I mean, the numbers show that's where they should be, right? I mean, it's valid. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, no, I think that I think you should play where your numbers are.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing about football. Football's a numbers-driven sport.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the reason why we have 6 classifications in football and only 5 in the other sports, is because, I mean, if you're at the low end of your enrollment, it's really hard to win. Just because football's such a numbers game.
You've had such a good team. I feel like you could have made some runs, even in the 6A for sure. I mean, you play 6A schools too and stuff. And I know you probably could have beat some teams and been in the playoffs and made some noise. There's no doubt. I'm curious. I ask all these coaches now this. I'm just because I'm curious. So I was lucky enough to do some play-by-play games in Phoenix for their playoffs. In Phoenix, they switched their system to they have 1 through 6A or 1 through 5A, excuse me, and then they have an open division. So basically, any team can make that open division if they had a good enough regular season, regardless if they're a 4A, 3A, 5A, and then play in the open playoffs. But there's still the 5A playoffs, still the 4A playoffs. I'm curious, is that something that you would like, or do you kind of like the system that we just have now?
Well, to be honest with you, I hadn't really thought about it. I mean, I was watching Hoosiers the other night, on Christmas.
Yes.
And Hickory went to the state championship. That's kind of what you're talking about, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Classification. Let's go. Yeah. No, I mean, I like the system that we have. I mean, it'd be kind of a tough decision to make that, it'd be a tough decision as a coach to decide, where we're going to go open or we're going to stay in our class. I mean, I kind of like where we are and I kind of like the way we do it, but that might be fun.
I've been noticing, and doing those games in Phoenix, I really noticed that there is not a big drop off between the talent in New Mexico and the talent in Arizona. There's just so much more of the good talent because of numbers right in Arizona. But truthfully, if you take team by team, I mean, I feel like there's teams here that can really compete with some of the better teams in Arizona. I really believe that by watching these games. I did a lot of them. And I feel like maybe New Mexico kids are starting to get noticed. Like you saw that with like some of your boys now and in D1 and you saw what, with the New Mexico Lobos playing a lot of players here from New Mexico and being successful. What do you think about New Mexico's talent maybe starting to get a little bit more looks and maybe starting to be able to get more potential D1 offers?
Yeah, and I was the junior college coach at New Mexico Military Institute
right
before I went to Roswell. And so, I've recruited and I've been to, all those states. I'll tell you this, okay? New Mexico's top end programs, there's not a lot of difference between those programs and a really good program in Texas or a really good program in Arizona. There's not that many. We've got 70, we've got 70 schools playing football in this state. Whereas you go to the Metroplex and they've got 120. just in the Metroplex. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it just gets into a numbers game.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you right now, the Cleveland, Rio Ranchos, and the Los Lunases and those top end programs, La Cuevas,
The Roswells.
Clovises. Well, I mean, okay, but those top end programs, I mean, they're being run very similar to the way those quality programs in the other state are. We don't have a lot of the numbers. I mean, it's just not. We do have our talent. It's just we don't have as much because we don't have as many schools.
So you coming from, I mean, obviously coaching the JUCO, what do you like about your lifestyle now as compared to before? I mean, are you more prone to wanting to coach high school football, or is that something that you enjoyed a little bit more?
I loved my time at NIMI. I loved coaching college ball, and my brother's a college football coach. He's the head football coach at the University of Nebraska Kearney. But I'll tell you what I don't miss about college football is I don't miss the travel. I mean, we would have to go to Arizona. Yeah, recruiting. I mean, I was gone a lot, and I've got 3 boys, and I get to watch them play baseball, basketball, and now I've got a freshman. I'm going to get to see him play and coach him a little bit. So, I love college football. I like the fact that you lived and breathed it every day. I didn't really have to teach any classes or anything. It was just recruiting and coaching. But just the time. You can work a 12-hour day, 365 days a year in college football, and still feel like you're getting behind. And I don't miss that part of it.
So, obviously, with your boys being athletes and stuff, do you think that's going to be a little bit more difficult? I've talked to like father-son pairs or father-daughter pairs that sometimes there's a little bit of strain. Sometimes it's really easy. In fact, I talked with Marcos Lopez and Mark Lopez with Las Cruces last night, and it was funny. I mean, those guys seem to have the best relationship ever, and sports just brings them closer. What do you feel about that?
Yeah, and I'm the son of a coach. My dad coached me in high school, so I've seen the other side of it. I mean, all these other guys get to go home to their parents, and everybody's happy after a loss. We walked into a somber house. But no, I've got great relationships with my kids, and they're all good kids, and they make good grades. Are they going to be the star of the team? Yeah, I don't know, probably not, but they'll work well off, and I'll coach them hard, and then hopefully in 10 or 15 years, we can, sit back and joke and kid about it, and hopefully we'll have good stories. Hopefully we'll have some wins to talk about. So I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to that challenge, and hopefully they still like me after all this.
I'm sure they will, man. I appreciate some time. Not that my opinion really matters that much, but I promise I'm not picking against Jeff Lynn again. I'm not hopefully we can get some football going here, please.
I keep picking against us.
I'm not going to do it, man. I'm not going to do it. I promise.
It's good for it.
No, you're going to have to deal with it. My curse is coming to you because I'm picking Jeff Lynn. I'm picking Roswell. There's nobody that can stop me, Coach.
Cool. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate what I see what you're doing on Twitter and kind of ringing the bell for these kids, and that's not always popular, and Twitter sometimes it's a nasty, but I see you standing up for our kids, and I sure appreciate what you're doing, and keep it up, man. I mean, there's a bunch of people that appreciate what you're doing. I just wanted to say that.
That means a lot, Coach. I appreciate that. I'm there for the kids. I'm there for the cause, brother. Hopefully we'll see you here soon in some football, and I appreciate you joining me, man.
Hey, I appreciate it, Adam. You have a great night, man.